it's not all bad. They do things the right way sometimes. One thing that they have done tremendously well, and I don't think they're getting enough credit for it because we talk about this problem of overexposure. Seth Rollins is a guy who is also in jeopardy of being burned out for being overexposed. I mean, he is in multiple segments on every show. He wrestled twice on the show this week. If you go back like the last 3-4 months, 5 months maybe, you're going to see the same faces in the Raw main event over and over again. And Rollins, as well as Kane and Orton and Cena and Ambrose, they're all a part of that. So they have that issue with him, that he's just on the show far too much. But that being said, they have done an incredible job of building Seth Rollins up as something and protecting him. You know, normally when somebody wins a Money in the Bank briefcase, the first thing they do is they get jobbed out. We saw that with Daniel Bryan. We saw that with Damian Sandow. We saw that with Dolph Ziggler and probably other guys I'm not even thinking of. You win that briefcase and, you know, maybe you'll cash in and win the championship at some point, but I guess because they have the briefcase, it's okay for them to lose. So they lose and they lose and they lose. That has not been the case with Seth Rollins. He has been protected at every stop. He beat Ambrose at SummerSlam. He beat Ambrose again at Hell in a Cell. Ambrose never did get that win over Rollins. And maybe they're going to save it for Mania or something. I don't know. But he got those big wins over Ambrose. He wins for the most part every single week on television. He's out there with the authority, standing shoulder to shoulder with top guys like Kane and Triple H, established main event guys. And that's how you get somebody like that over. That's how you establish Rollins as a believable, accepted main eventer, by having him surrounded by believable, long-time main eventers. I mean, say what you want to about Kane, but, you know, Kane's been around since 1997. He's a top guy. Triple H, still looked at as a top guy. And there's Rollins out there every single week rubbing shoulders with these guys, and he's winning. So for all those people who love to peddle this argument that wins and losses don't matter, and I've had this debate with other people and other podcast hosts, and it's a crock of shit, and those people don't know what they're talking about, that wins and losses don't matter. I know it's not a priority to WWE, and I'm not talking like wins and losses in terms of like, I need to know exactly how many wins this guy has and exactly how many losses. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about perception. And when you lose and you lose and you lose, however many times, whatever the exact number of losses is, who cares? There is a perception that you are a loser. How many guys have fallen into that trap? You know, I mean, countless times we've seen this. But they haven't fallen into that trap with Rollins. You know, for the most part, the Shield as a unit has been protected a lot since they debuted on television. The Shield is, I mean, as a unit, forget about it. I mean, they are the best push group of guys I've seen in WWE in years and years and years. And that has extended to Rollins now as he's gotten this big singles push, and I think that's an awesome thing to see. Because I think a lot of people were probably worried about Rollins more than anybody else when the Shield split up. They all said, well, Reigns is the chosen one, so he's going to get a big push no matter what. And Ambrose is the crazy one, and he's going to get a big push as well. And Ambrose could be big as a babyface. I think he could be even bigger as a heel, which I'm sure is coming at some point down the road. What about Rollins? Is Rollins going to get lost in the shuffle? No. Rollins is not only not getting lost in the shuffle, but he has been more pushed than any of the other two. And they've been consistent with it, and he is now a bona fide main eventer. He has cemented his position as a top-tier guy, and I don't know what the plans are long-term with Brock Lesnar, but whenever Lesnar drops the belt into whoever it is, I would think it's safe to say that when Rollins cashes in, he'll be the champion, and I could see Rollins getting a nice little run for himself with the title, as long as they have enough heel challengers to throw, or babyface, I should say, challengers to throw at him. You know, they're already kind of setting the stage for Reigns and Rollins when Reigns gets back from his injury. They could always go back to Cena and Rollins and have an extended feud. Orton and Rollins, when I mean, they've got that ready-made when Orton comes back from his injury. So I got to give them a lot of credit. I think they've done an incredible job, maybe a little too good because of the overexposure, but pushing Seth Rollins as a top guy, you know, he's been very fortunate because there's been a lot of guys before him who probably deserved it and got screwed just based on how they were pushed. And Rollins, so far, has not fallen into that trap, and it's been nice to see. By the way, the day after his match with Rusev, Sheamus went on Twitter and started using the hashtag never tap out. Because, again, he didn't tap out in the match. He passed out, and the referee called for the bell. I just saw that, and I actually tweeted it to him. I said, you would make a terrible MMA coach. That is a terrible piece of advice to give to a kid, to give to a fighter if they're in a fight. Never, ever tap out. You know how many people had their arms snapped by Ronda Rousey because of that? Believe me, there are times when tapping is okay. Apparently, Sheamus didn't get the memo. So we have John Cena versus Ryback on Raw this Monday night. I'm a little worried for old Ryback. You put him in there. It's not like he's going to beat Cena, so you just hope he doesn't lose in such a way that kills whatever momentum he may have right now. I figure it ends up with him joining Team Cena at Survivor Series. Match probably goes to a no contest. Maybe the Authority runs in or something. Here's how I see Survivor Series shaping up right now as far as the two teams. Now that it looks at Orton's out of the equation, I figure Team Cena probably ends up being Cena, Ziggler, Big Show, Sheamus, and Ryback against Team Authority, led by Rollins, Kane, Rusev, Mark Henry, and that fifth spot is what's got me, I could go either way on this. I could see Triple H, given that the stakes are so high, saying sometimes you got to do a job by yourself, and he suits up and he's on Team Authority at Survivor Series. But you know what? If Hunter and Steph are that concerned about losing the match and losing power at Survivor Series, they should go to Paul Heyman and request that the WWE Champion be on their team. But on a free show, there's no way they're going to do that. So Triple H may be the most likely. I'm not really sure who else you plug in there, unless there's just somebody I'm not thinking of. I don't think Batista's coming back, not now anyway, and even if he did, he'd probably be on the babyface side. He wasn't exactly thrilled with Triple H the last time we saw him on Raw. I'm just not sure who else you plug in there. But that's how I see the team shaping up right now. I think Team Cena is pretty much set, but that one last spot on Team Authority, that's the open question right now.